Welcome to the Intersection Magazine podcast. We're actually in Nairobi, Kenya, right now at the East Africa Com, local regional tech summit hosted at Blue Radisson in Upper Hill. And this is Intersection Magazine podcast. Now, today's issue has a special guest that I met at East Africa Com. He's coming as a startup. And his startup deals in the EdTech space. His name is Kirimi Mitambo. And we had some very interesting conversations with him about the EdTech space and the ecosystem and what they're doing for an education sector that needs quite a lot of work. So we hope you enjoy this conversation, and we hope you subscribe to our podcast. Thank you. So Kirimi, thank you for allowing to do this interview with us. Now, Kirimi, tell us a little bit about yourself. Who is Kirimi Mitambo?
Thank you, Kenda, for welcoming to this podcast. My name is Kirimi Mitambo. I'm founder and CEO of Zoezi Education. Zoezi Education is an EdTech startup that started its operations in 2022. And ideally, what Zoezi Education stands for is a mission to empower the learning community. The learning community here is the learner, the schools, the teachers, and the parents. And together, our intention is to create and develop a digital revision content for primary schools in Kenya, currently grade 1 up to grade 6, and class 8, which is the last KCPE class.
Okay. Now, tell us a little bit about what problem you see, and give in a sense some reasons on why you created this solution.
Thanks, sure. I think my experience working in the EdTech space for the last 10 plus years, working for NGO and in the publishing industry, is that I discovered there was need to offer a solution in the sense of revision content in terms of quizzes and notes and step-by-step mathematics solutions, because what is currently available is in terms of texts and images or notes and in reference to the curriculum designs and the other systems. But then what we discovered as we were doing this work over the years was that we needed to have a solution that brings together questions, notes, and math solutions that can be bundled into a library, and that is exactly what we are offering as a niche moving forward.
Okay. What challenges have you faced while working on this project?
Thank you. The first challenge is creating the content itself. Gathering teachers and content creators that have experience and the capacity and even the bandwidth to handle the kind of content that we require hasn't been easy. And as a practicing linguist and a publisher of many years, is that we've encountered the content creation challenges as number one.
Okay.
And number two, probably just the technology around that tech of platforms and cloud space.
Okay. Now, tell us a little bit about what kind of technology you employ. What software do you use? Are you developing for Android? Are you developing for iOS as well? Or are those platforms what you're developing for?
Currently, we've developed an app that is on Play Store. That's Android,
okay.
And the other solution is on web, so you can access it using any web-enabled, internet-enabled device. But then we operate under two clouds. One is the AWS, that's Amazon Web Services,
okay.
For images and storage and library, and then the other one is the Google Cloud platform, GCP.
Okay.
And of course, we run on Safaricom M-Pesa in terms of subscriptions.
Okay. Now, you're developing a solution that's useful for the educational sector. And my question is, have you gotten access to government support? Ministry of Education, are they interested? Are they showing support for you in terms of what you're working on?
Sure. I haven't reached out to the Ministry of Education per se, because also as we do iterations and testing in the field, we first need to gather necessary and enough data to inform us on the way forward. But what we intend to do ultimately is to get to the level of approaching government with how we can work together to deliver on their digital literacy program in whatever capacity in terms of support and hopefully training moving forward.
Okay. Now I'm curious, what are your views in terms of the curriculum? Do you feel like it's strong enough? Is it competitive? Do you think that a graduate graduate would be a bit of a stretch, but maybe our primary school students, are they prepared well enough for the challenges globally that we're facing?
So I'll start by saying that I was privileged to be part of the very first editors working in the publishing industry then when the curriculum designs for the new CBC curriculum was launched.
Okay.
And therefore I was able to interact with authors, people in the ministry and the publishers. And
Yes.
what I can tell from my experience based on that time is that yes, the CBC curriculum, which is a new curriculum, is good enough for our learners. And I feel that the government has done its part in terms of training. My hope and our hope as Zoezi is that we will see where we can plug in and help in terms of supporting the government on how now to deliver this collaboratively in terms of education technology.
Okay. Now I'm curious, in terms of your work and your experience, do you have others that are developing in the same space? Are they competitors? Are they colleagues? Are you focusing mainly on primary school, or are you also in secondary school with your system?
I will answer that question in two phases. Number one, I will start with the last part.
Yes.
Zoezi Education focuses purely on primary schools, that is grade 1 to grade 6, and class 8, which is KCP, last year.
Yes.
And then in terms of the people we work with or our competitors or collaborators, yes, there are quite a number actually, quite a number. And yes, most of these people we've worked with for the last 10 years, either as startups, we've worked with them either in the publishing industry or EdTech space generally. But then what I would say is the difference between what they do and what we offer is that ours is purely on library and revision in terms of making sure that the learner can do something, revision, the school is able to track and the parent is able to track, and not just tracking but also reference that in the library in the future.
Okay. Thank you very much for your work. I'm curious in terms of what benefits you've seen from your current work experience in terms of your background with as a linguist. What are the benefits that have been accrued from those experiences in terms of helping you to develop your product?
Sure, thanks. Number one is that as part of being a linguist, once I completed my university education, I was able to work in one of the biggest publishing houses in the region as a language editor. And for 5.5 years, I got the necessary experience and skill set. And then I moved out to do consultancy in terms of education technology. I was doing columns in one of the dailies on Sundays in terms of education technology and how that can be incorporated to improve the outcomes of education and learning.
Yes.
But then ultimately I was able to work for an education technology NGO for over 6 years. And I feel that my experience over the years has given me an edge, and therefore in delivering the mandate and the vision of Zoezi Education, yes, I feel we are best placed in terms of understanding the problems and offering a solution.
Okay. Now, we talked about government support and government involvement, but I'm also curious in terms of what has been your perspective on the local funding network in terms of venture capital and angel investing. Do you have the opportunity, for example, as Zoezi to say partner? Can people get a stake out of your company? Do you offer percentages? Someone says, I want to fund this and I want to come in with possibly 10% and give you this much, and then maybe share profits. Do you have those kind of systems in place?
Sure. I believe that the venture capital space in Kenya is there, but it needs to be improved, because if we were to support not just EdTechs, but even any other person doing product in the tech space, we need to expand that band. And in terms of whether Zoezi as a company, we offer that opportunity where venture capitalists or angel investors can come in and work with us. Definitely, yes, we do that for equity and also for shareholding and all that. And it's my belief that this space needs to be enlarged so that we can accommodate EdTechs and any other person working on the product of tech and then moving forward, yes.
Okay. Now, I'm curious also about, in our conversation, when we're talking about earlier conversation, we're talking about the importance of associations. In Uganda, for example, we have the ICT Association, and it caters for mainly practitioners in the ICT space, so we attract government people in the education ministry, or different sectors of education, teachers, business people, and things of that nature. And the benefits of having an association, at least, is we can get our ideas, perspectives communicated, at least to key sectors of government. What role do you see association play in the EdTech space? Because you mentioned that as something important.
Thank you. That's a very critical question. And as we discussed earlier, yes, associations are key. I will start by giving an example of the Kenya Publishers Association, KPA, that is able to bring together publishers from Kenya with the interest of making sure that there is quality in the content and books that they publish. So, bringing together EdTech companies in this country will be key in terms of working with government collaboratively to even deliver on its mandate of digital literacy program. But then the other thing is that when companies in the EdTech space work together, we are able to ensure there is quality and there is accountability, checks and balances, because I feel associations come in handy when it comes to ensuring that there is quality of delivery of the product, especially now that we are talking about learners who are basically under 13 years.
Okay. Now, you've talked about EdTech, and you're, in a sense, just a fraction of the innovation and technology space in Kenya. What are some of the other players, and what percentage, I guess, is EdTech as a percentage of the bigger innovation creation space? I'm talking about fintech, other innovations that are taking place. How many other people are developing, and in what other sectors are they developing in?
Well, yeah, that's a challenging one, but thanks for asking. I feel that fintech leads in terms of innovations.
Okay.
When it comes to EdTech, as I said, we may not have very accurate data because, one, we don't have that association that brings together these EdTechs, so that we can say that, in fact, in the whole tech ecosystem, we are this percentage. But my hope that maybe if you came back 1 or 2 years from now and asked me the same question, I'll be able to give you an appropriate answer. But for now, I would say that let's first start and see how that works, and then we can create that data. We can gather that data moving forward.
Now, about the associations, is there an association for generally just for technology or practitioners? And if so, do you think your interests can be represented there, or do you want something exclusively for the EdTech space?
I know there is an association for fintechs. Okay. I also know that there is an association that brings together other associations.
Okay.
But the reasoning behind bringing together EdTechs and having an exclusive association for EdTechs, EdTech space is a very special interest group because we are dealing with knowledge and skills here for young learners, or even those learners up to high schools and university and other tertiary institutions. Yes. So I believe that having an exclusive EdTech association will give us an upper hand in taking care of the interests of our industry. Okay.
Thank you so much. You've shared quite a lot of insights, very useful information. Finally, I'd like to give my guests an opportunity to kind of give us an idea how we can find them, so that if there are people that want to invest in your solution, they can find you. So give us your socials. Where are you? Are you on Twitter? Are you on LinkedIn? Where can people find you? Where is your physical office located? What's your website?
Thank you, Mr. Kenda. Yes, my name, and as it appears on all my socials on Twitter, especially on LinkedIn, is Kirimi Mitambo. The name of my company is Zoezi Education. It's actually the same in the socials.
Okay.
In LinkedIn is Zoezi Education. On Twitter is Zoezi_education. You can find us so that we can discuss this further and see how we can collaborate. You can invest in us and collaborate and see what works for the education sector in this industry. And we are looking forward to you reaching out and seeing how we can sync this up.
Okay, thank you very much. Also, possibly it would be great to have you in Uganda. Maybe you can market your product to primary schools in Uganda and probably create a solution that fits the education system there. So welcome to Uganda anytime you have time.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I hope I'll get that opportunity to go back to Ghana because I've been there quite a number of times previously. Thank you.
You're welcome.